Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. We've got Tyler on Ant versus Tom on Blue Red Delver. Ponder leading out for Tyler, looking to find a critical mass of spells, get past the counters on the other side of the table, be able to lead out with a basic land that'll help play around Daze and Wasteland, builds his mana base. Delver can't kill you on the first or second or even third turn. A extremely popular deck. Sometimes you see people talk about Legacy as being this format where you can just lose on the first turn, and while Ant can certainly do that, Delver is well prepared to try and prevent that with 8 free counters at least. Daze, Force of Will, post board, Force of Negation very often. Deck Pyroblasts. Seeing some play now as a way of dealing mirror match with those giant Murktides. So Tom had a Ponder of his own. Tyler has a Brainstorm. So both players just sculpting towards the ideal hands. We see Tom already has a pair of Force of Wills that can be very difficult to get past. Dragon Rage Channeler. A win condition is on board. Tom's going to try and ride this to victory, actually opting to play his Steam Vent untapped, leaving even more mana open. So Delver of Secrets joins in. Got a Wishclaw Talisman. Force of Will. And got a Veil of Summer to try and defend. Another Force, so Wishclaw probably wins the game when it resolves. You're going to end up with a 1-mana tutor the following turn. If you've got enough mana, it's basically 3 mana, which is still better than Grim Tutor. Of course, the drawback is you're giving it to your opponent, but Ant gets around that, as does Tess, by just winning the turn that you activate it. Delver and Wishclaw turned sideways. Tyler's life total is dwindling. The Ad Nauseam route becoming less and less likely. After this swing, Ad Nauseam not really a viable line. And play it from 9, but really hope you have better options there. Not looking good. Card's looking good, though. Tyler has quite the arrangement for his list, as does Tom. Full versions, we see a foreign black border lightning bolt. That is going to do it for Tyler as he moves on. Certainly going to be prepared for this matchup. Tyler needing to mull the 5. Just a whole bunch of draw go here. Both players mulling. Brainstorm in response to Ponder. Oh, I don't enjoy that at all. So there was a Daze thrown at this Brainstorm, forcing the crack of the fetch land. So going down a card for certain. And if your opponent has a shuffle effect on their follow-up turn, basically made them draw one slightly suboptimal card. So yeah, that's pretty grim. Not liking it. Yeah, if he cracks this fetch land. So Tyler basically drew an extra card. Let me know what you think about that play. Not a fan there. Brainstorm plus Fetch land is the best combo in the game. I maintain, in part because it's so difficult to stop. I mean, if you can force a will it too. I mean, you go ahead and throw a force of will at your opponent's brainstorm, but that doesn't actually stop it being good. At that point, it's still good because for 1 blue mana, it drew a force of will and a blue card out of your opponent's hand. So one of the reasons why brainstorm plus fetch is so good, because it's really this damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation for your opponent. It's just a quality play. Need something like Chalice of the Void, try and actually shut it down, which is an entire archetype. This Carpet of Flowers is going to generate a whole bunch of mana, and this is one of the biggest pieces of technology. We've had a really tough time keeping Carpet of Flowers in stock in general. Shop, they come in, but they go right out. Probably could use 20 or 30 Carpet of Flowers. A lot of different legacy players we have coming through looking for them very often now in multiples, 2, 3 copies people would like, as it really does punish the Delver mana base, which is like all islands except for those wastelands, and breaks the utility of Daze. I mean, Daze is extremely underwhelming. Opponents getting this repeatable Black Lotus effect. So an Infernal Tutor, typically this card's going to be used when you're Hellbent. Tyler actually using it to get a copy of Veil of Summer. So his next turn, very likely going to be an attempt at winning the game with double Veil backup. We see Force of Negation, Force of Will, and some blue cards. We have Expressive Iteration. I mean, Tom can potentially stop both of the Veil of Summers, but he won't be able to stop whatever business Tyler was looking to protect. I think realistically, once your opponent has already thrown 2 forces out there, you're just going to go for it and accept the fact that if they have 3 forces, that's what it takes to beat you. That's the way I look at it. So down to 13. Carpet making 2 mana. A Veil. Now, Tom, at this point, can add 2 to Storm by playing a pair of forces, and he'll also lose a point of life going to 18, so effectively adding 3 Storm. Oh no, he actually forces pitching force. That's going to be a wrap. Yeah, let me know what you think about that line as well. I don't like it. Got Infernal plus LED. This is going to be over. I think on the other side of things, Infernal for Infernal. Yeah, this is going to grab a main deck Tendrils and end the game. I think you kind of have to force both of the Veils. Just hope that your opponent respects the fact that you have another force plus blue card as your last card. I don't know. I mean, it's just you're losing pretty much no matter what. If you let that Veil resolve, you're dead. Certainly with the cards that Blue-Red Delver has available to it. We're ways away from seeing Mirror Shell Crab in Legacy. Heck of a card in Pauper, though. Actually, I got wrecked by that. At some point, you'll see that on the channel. Mirror Shell Crab. Absolutely destroying a game-winning line. Uncounterably. Pretty sick. Seiju and Otawara, just any type of channeling effects Fairy Macabre. Not really channel. Effects that are not spells. I mean, they are really difficult to interact with. Storm for Tom. The Carpet of Flower is a real MVP. Last game along with Veil of Summers. Ant in general is kind of moved. Well, I can't speak specifically on Ant. Played more tests lately. But the previous discard suites of Thoughtseize and Duresses have really fallen out of favor. Board Veil of Summer is a 4 of in the main, which I agree with. I mean, I think it's incredibly strong. Played a whole bunch of Eureka Tell. Also had access to that technology, which just an incredibly strong effect. I mean, it's a counter spell of sorts. Solves one of your toughest problems, which is actually the Thoughtseize and Duress effects. Those can be very, very harmful to your game plan when you're trying to amass a critical mass of spells. That is like the worst thing for Tyler to see there. He's got a pair of Delvers against him, and a Force of Will flips on top of the library. That is really unfortunate for him. He's going to be taking 6 damage a turn. He's got a 3-turn clock if he sacks the fetch. So at this point, 2 turns left, essentially, knowing your opponent has at least 1 Force of Will. Not what you want to see, but not necessarily out of it. Can't can make something happen, but the window is really small. And a Thoughtseize. Wow, Tom actually Force of Willing the Thoughtseize. So still has some counter magic. Delver of Secrets. Really lost a lot of love during the Ragavan era. People talking about if it's even worth running him at all with Ragavan. Found his way back. Host Monkey. And Tom says, still got all these. Just 3 counters left plus an expressive iteration. There we go. Blue-Red Delver taking it down in 3.